The stone was waiting for Lord Ram. He arrived after 1,000 years, and a gentle touch of his foot restored her to her human form.
Oh, only ordinary people can say such things. How is that even possible? Exclaimed Sri Ramana Maharshi in response to a query by a devotee. Then he offered his interpretation of an incident from the epic Ramayana, which was the subject matter of the discussion there. It was about Ahalya, who is often quoted even today as one of the 5 virtuous women to be emulated from Indian mythology. Sri Ramana Maharshi, the 20th century sage who lived at Arunachala in Tamil Nadu, is known for his teachings on self-inquiry as a direct path to liberation. His philosophy continues to inspire seekers worldwide even today. Now, let us dive into Sri Ramana's interpretation of the incident and why that thought process is much needed in today's world, especially in India. But before that, let me recount the story of Ahalya, taking only the dominant threads across the various versions that exist today. Ahalya was a special creation of Lord Brahma. He had created her as an incarnation of beauty in order to demolish the pride of Urvashi, who was the topmost Apsara in the court of Indra, the king of gods. Brahma had claimed that he had put the essence of beauty of all creations in every part of Ahalya's body. After creating her in such a manner, Brahma left her in the custody of Rishi Gautam, a revered sage known for his wisdom and asceticism. The great Rishi took care of Ahalya until she reached puberty, and then he returned her to Brahma. Impressed by the Rishi's self-control and asceticism, Brahma gifted the now young woman to Gautama himself. Rishi Gautama, though a man of austerity, accepted Ahalya as his wife. The couple started living together in his hermitage, a serene abode nestled in the forest. However, Indra, the king of gods, was unhappy by this marriage, for he had already fallen for the beauty of Ahalya. He could not accept the fact that she, with such an unparalleled beauty, had become the wife of a forest-dwelling ascetic. So he decided to win over the lady by hook or crook. Indra knew Ahalya was a devoted wife and she would never willingly ditch Gautam, so he devised a cunning plan. One early morning, when Gautam had gone to the river to perform his daily rituals, Indra disguised himself, taking on Gautam's exact form. Then he approached Ahalya in the hermitage. Deceived by Indra's flawless impersonation, Ahalya yielded to his demand. But Gautama saw Indra's deceptive act through his spiritual insight and immediately returned from the riverside. When he reached the hermitage, Indra was fleeing in terror. The sight of Indra coming out of his hermitage infuriated the rishi beyond measure. He cursed Indra, condemning him to lose his manhood. Then Rishi Gautam turned to his wife Ahalya. She pleaded her innocence, claiming she had been tricked, but Gautam's anger was unrelenting. He cursed her to turn into a stone, to remain lifeless and immobile. A curse is a curse. Once pronounced, it can't be taken back. Nevertheless, Gautama offered a remedy that could relieve his wife from the curse. He said she would come back to life after being touched by the divine soul Lord Ram sometime in the future. Thousands of years passed. Treta Yuga arrived. One day, Lord Ram, along with his brother Lakshman and Guru Vishwamitra, was passing by the hermitage of Gautam. Vishwamitra, who was aware of Ahalya's plight, narrated her tale to Ram and led him to the stone that was once the beautiful Ahalya. He also asked Ram to place his foot on the stone. With a gentle touch of Ram's foot, the stone cracked open, and Ahalya emerged in human form, her beauty and vitality intact. She fell at Ram's feet in gratitude. Now, Rishi Gautam too appeared on the scene after doing tapas for a long time. The couple was reunited, their bond purified by time and divine grace. This was the legend. Now, let us understand the importance of the conversation between Sri Ramana and his devotees over this story. A devotee asked, "The statement that Ahalya turned into a stone applies only to her mind, not to her body, isn't it?" Sri Ramana answered, "Certainly it is so. How can it apply to the body? Only ordinary people say that her body had turned into a stone, and Rama restored her to her original form by touching the stone with his foot." Sri Ramana then offered his interpretation. Ahalya turning into a stone means her mind has lost its awareness of self. She became so dull that she was unable to think of anything. This was the meaning of becoming a stone. Then, the moment Rama set foot in Gautam's ashram, the mind of Ahalya opened up, and she got relieved from the dullness in the presence of the great personality. This conversation teaches us how to make sense of mythological incidents that go against the rules in the realm of possibilities in the physical world. It tells us to look for messages they convey rather than historical truths. It also nudges us to think critically before believing anything at face value. What are your thoughts on it? Share in the comments. Thank you for watching.